Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It is another funnies on Sunday. So we're doing a BattleTech theme here, just having fun with it all. So Warhammer or something, I don't know. I just play BattleTech. It's interesting because of lawsuits and how things have been redesigned. I know this is a Warhammer, but it has a completely different look from the old Warhammer I grew up kind of looking at. All right, angry mobs. They don't they don't give a care if I have a mech or a point of armor. Definitely one way to put down civilian uprisings in BattleTech, and they've done that a couple times in the universe. Comstar, AT&T with guns, pay your bills. With the fall of the uh, it's been a little bit since I played BattleTech, but with the fall and everyone trying to fight over, trying to recreate the inner sphere or whatever, Comstar always staying neutral, but they are the ones that are in control of the hyperpulse generators and our communications in the galaxy. Um, yeah, they more or less really do become AT&T, and they are a very powerful force at that. So it is an interesting faction. Finding a date difficult and time consuming makes you feel vulnerable. Playing playing a battle mech fast and easy, you will not feel vulnerable. Someone might see you and think, "Who's that cool person with a mech? I think I'd like to have dinner with them." If only. Mech Warrior, for those times when nothing else will do but a good old bloody killing rampage. Yeah, quite often because it's more of it's a war simulator in like Warhammer 40K and some of the older style games. A lot of it's very similar to that. Although the funny thing is we use Mech Warrior and BattleTech interchangeably today. But being an old gamer and an old player of BattleTech, the Mech Warrior side itself was actually the role playing game for the characters. Um, it didn't work out quite as well because most people really just wanted to jump in and run a battle mech, and there were rules for interacting with the mechs and that as well. But um, it just didn't, the Mech Warrior part did not catch on as well. The game wasn't overly bad. It's just that most people wanted to be in the mech, so you just ended up playing BattleTech, and not a single care was given that day. Some of the artistry that they've put into some of the books, and like this one, you've got a guy there's like, whatever. Um, looking behind him, you have 75 tons of mischief, and a second one as well behind that. Not a fun place to be. Not a fun place indeed. All right. This one I really wanted to kind of have here for you guys. Murphy's Law of Combat. You are not Superman. Suppressive fires won't. If it's stupid but works, it isn't stupid. Don't look conspicuous. Or, conspicuous. It draws fire. Don't draw fire. It irritates the people around you. When in doubt, empty the magazine. Never share a fighting hole with anyone braver than yourself. Never forget your weapon was made by the lowest bidder. If you're attacking, or if your attack is going really well, it's an ambush. No plan survives first contact intact. Try to look unimportant because the bad guys may be low on ammo. If you are forward of your position, the artillery will fall short. The enemy diversion that you are ignoring is the main attack. The important things are always simple. The simple things are always hard. The easy way is always mind. If you are short of everything except enemy, you're in combat. When you have secured an area, don't forget to tell the enemy. Incoming fire has the right of way. No combat ready unit has ever passed inspection. If the enemy is in range, so are you. Friendly fire isn't. Things that must be together to work usually can't be shipped together. Radios will fail as soon as you need fire support desperately. Anything you can get, uh, anything you can get, anything that can get you shot, including doing nothing. Tracers work both ways. The only thing more accurate than incoming enemy fire is incoming friendly fire. Last of all, when the pin is pulled, Mr. Grenade is not your friend. And yes, I've been in a situation where I was yelled at because I remember pulling the pin at a grenade range and I threw it before I was told to throw it, and I got reprimanded for it. And my opinion is I'm not just hanging on to a grenade just because it's fun. You know, and usually there's a 29th or a 30th one, but somewhere in one of those says Murphy was an infantryman. Uh, this stuff works very well in real life combat as well as in fantasy settings and that. Um, we do our best, but at the end of the day, it still comes down to, in a lot of regards, the luck of the draw. All right, Battletech. We still have both pirates and ninjas in the 31st century. I could not help but notice those dirty Crusader colors. You know, the politics in Battletech, especially once we get to the clans, you have the Crusaders, which believe that they need to take over and reestablish. I don't know why my mind cannot not run on full cylinders here tonight and come up with it, but reestablish the inner sphere the way it was supposed to be. Um, and then you have the wardens that believe that they are there to protect the inner sphere from whatever else is out there. Uh, and both philosophies have merit, and it's all one of those things of which one do you adhere to. Honestly, I don't know. Um, Bringing back the Star League, which is what I was trying to hit, is a good thing. Having the clans in charge of them, in some regards, really is not a really bad thing, but it does give up some freedoms. But there again, it gives you extras. It all depends on how your outlook is, and not trying to get in politics or whatever. There's always different views on everything. So, all right. Now, I wanted to show this one, and I don't actually have a meme for this, but it's just one of those. The Locust, when I started playing, looked very much like this. And of course, again, through lawsuits and everything else, this is where we've taken it to. It's a whole different mech from what we had. There's similarities. You see a design there, but you know they are two completely different robots here. This was a small, cramped thing to be in. It's 20 tons of metal, and not really the most survivable thing. And you look at what we have today, this looks a little bit more beefed up. It's still the same 20 tons, still the same stats. It's just that getting around legal issues, but it looks like a completely different machine at this point. And last but not least here, the Steiner Scout Lance, uh, 4 Atlases. It's just going to be one of those days. These are 100 metric ton behemoths, standing 5 stories tall, uh, just loaded to bear. with everything you just don't want to see in front of you. Um, when you're having a bad day, you're really having a bad day. But that's what I've got for you today. Hopefully, you got a couple chuckles out of it. That's what it's here for. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so very much for joining me. We'll see you in the next video.